Hi, this is Jacek, and this is the beginning of a series about something most of us use every day, but very few people ever take seriously. Sound. Not as a background noise, but as a real part of life. Today I want to start with an idea that has followed audio for decades. A comforting fantasy. The belief that somewhere out there must be one perfect loudspeaker, a single choice, the so-called endgame. You buy it and suddenly everything sounds right. Every genre, every mood, every recording. It's a beautiful idea, but it doesn't survive contact with reality. Because music is not one thing, it's not one shape, not one word, it's hundreds of words. A whispering jazz vocal, a piano recorded so close you can almost feel the wood, techno track that shakes the room at 30 Hz, a rock band pushing air through drums and guitar cabinets, a symphony that blooms in all directions at once. These are not slight variations of the same experience. They are completely different experiences. Expecting one loudspeaker to master all of them equally well is like expecting one vehicle to be a Formula One car, an off-road truck and a limousine, all at the same time. You can try, you can compromise, you can pretend, but physics always win. And this is the part that nobody tells you when you first step into audio. The problem isn't the loudspeakers. The problem is that music is beautifully diverse. And because music is diverse, our expectations should be too. The perfect loudspeaker survives because it's simple. It promises that sound is one decision, one box, one solution. But if you let go of that myth, something much more interesting appears. Listening becomes a human experience again, more personal, more honest, more curious. Instead of asking, what is the best loudspeaker, you start asking, what kind of sound actually moves me? What qualities do I respond to? What do I want my listening moments to feel like? Because people don't listen to equipment. People listen to emotions, moments, textures, spaces, voices, memories. And when you realize that, audio stops being a technical puzzle and becomes a way of discovering what kind of listening makes your life richer. This series, Material Sounds Perspectives, is about that, not about hardware. Not about brands, but about understanding sound in a way that feels clear, intuitive and human. So let's begin with something simple but essential. How we actually hear. Most people imagine hearing as something like a microphone. Sound goes in, the brain stores it, done. But hearing is not recording. Hearing is interpretation. The brain constantly filters, reshapes, and gives meaning to vibrations in the air. If we heard something with equal intensity, we would go insane. So our hearing is selective by design. It pays attention to what matters, and in yours, what doesn't. And this explains so much about why certain music feels intimate or distant or warm or flat. We don't respond to every detail. We respond to details that our brain thinks are meaningful. That is why some systems feel engaging while others feel empty, even if they measure almost the same. We hear in shapes, not numbers. Another truth most people never think about. The ear doesn't analyze sound frequency by frequency. It hears in small clusters, in perceptual groups, in what scientists call bands. If something strong happens in one of those groups, it can hide everything else around it. That's why too much bass can make the lower middle feel muddy. Why too much energy in the upper midrange can make music feel sharp, even when nothing is technically wrong. We don't hear graphs. We hear balances. We hear relationships. We hear shapes. Our hearing has a sweet spot. Although the human ear can detect a wide range, we are incredibly sensitive to only a narrow slice of it, roughly between 2 and 5 kHz. That's where the human voice carries meaning, articulation, presence, emotion. This teeny region has a disproportionate influence on whether something feels clear, intimate, forward, soft, aggressive, or fatiguing. It's the emotional center of our hearing. And if this region is wrong, even slightly, nothing feels right. If it's right, you can forgive almost anything else. At the opposite end of the spectrum, bass behaves differently. We are much less sensitive there. A bass tone must be far louder to feel as intense as a tone in the midrange, which means bass is not just heard, it is felt. It engages body, the room, and your sense of physical space. That's why small speakers struggle with certain music, not because they are bad, but because they simply cannot move enough air to create the physical foundation. Good bass doesn't make sound bigger, it makes sound believable. And there is space, the most magical part of listening. We locate sounds with astonishing precision, using tiny differences between our left and right ears. This is how we perceive width, height, depth, and distance, and the shape of a room. A system that interacts gracefully with space can make music feel suspended in front of you. A system that interacts chaotically can make everything collapse into a flat surface. Imaging isn't a technical trick, it's a psychological effect. Speakers only provide the clues. Your brain builds the picture. And this leads us to the heart of the matter. Listening is not analytical, it's emotional. And voices moves you not because speaker is accurate, but because something in the tone feels human. A piano touches you, not because frequency charts, but because of the way its harmonics bloom and fade in the space. Two people can hear the same system and have opposite reactions. Both valid, both human. There is no correct listener, and therefore no perfect loudspeaker. Only the one that connects with what matters to you. This episode was about something simple but essential. Why the perfect loudspeaker doesn't exist, and why that's actually liberating. Because once you stop chasing perfection, you can start chasing connection. In the next episode, we will take a closer look at the building blocks of music, the different regions of sound, and what each one contributes to the emotional experience of listening. Not technically, but musically, humanly. Thank you for watching. See you in the next chapter. And until then, take a moment, slow down, and really listen.